What's going on? It's your boy Sermon at Sermon's Domain on Twitter. Gucci Mane never stops working. This guy is always in the studio, always making moves. He's on Twitter trying to inspire and motivate people. He's been really living it up. And so on September 15th, he is going to be releasing his second album of 2017, titled Mr. Davis. This follows the excellent offering of Drop Top WAP, which was a collaboration album with Metro Boomin. So I think Gucci is kind of in his zone right now. This album also comes 4 days before his autobiography is set to be released. So it's kind of like he's doubling up on promo there. And I, for one, am very interested in reading this autobiography from Gucci. Just looking at the track listing, Mr. Davis has to be the one. It feels like it's going to be a much bigger album than everything that he's released. The only problem with that, in my opinion, is that there hasn't been much promo in terms of like really hyping it up and trying to make a hit single out of it. I mean, there's the Chris Brown single, Chris Brown assisted single titled Tone It Down, and they just released another one called I Get the Bag featuring Migos. So maybe one of those will creep up on the charts, but as of right now, Gucci doesn't have anything strong on the radio really going into this album. When I say that this is supposed to be like Gucci's big album, I say that when I look at the track listing. The track listing shows that Gucci has brought out the big guns. He's got everybody on here. He's working with familiar faces like young Dolph, as well as a lot of new collaborations featuring The Weeknd, A$AP Rocky, Monica, ScHoolboy Q, and so many others. In some ways, you might say that there's too many guest features on here, but a lot of them turn out to be R&B features that'll probably just be doing a hook for Gucci. One of the songs that I have my eyes on the most is Changed featuring Big Sean. This record was made in early April, and around that time was when The Heart Part 4 came out. Now, you know Kendrick Lamar took aim at Big Sean, and so I'm thinking that maybe, just maybe, Big Sean threw some subliminals back at Kendrick on this record. I mean, I could be totally wrong. I know Sean has already responded with some subs on DJ Khaled's On Everything, but this might have been something recorded before On Everything. Something that maybe Sean was expecting to come out sooner than later. So it could be the case, or it might not be. Maybe there's nothing at all special about this song, but I have my eyes on it because, you know, Big Sean tends to let off them subliminals. So what is my most anticipated song out of the 17 that we'll be getting? It's a toss-up between Curve featuring The Weeknd and Lil Story featuring ScHoolboy Q. The Weeknd has been on a roll with his guest features, so I'm just hoping that continues on Curve. And ScHoolboy Q really is no slouch when it comes to guest features. I think that Gucci and Q will kind of mesh really well together. They're both very street oriented, and I think that'll bring out the best in them on this record. If Mr. Davis is anything like Drop Top WAP quality wise, then Gucci is going to do well with this album. I do feel like there should be a little bit more promotion involved because it just feels like it's such a short notice. Literally, this album, Mr. Davis, was announced yesterday along with the new single, I Get the Bag. Before that, we had the Chris Brown assisted song, but we didn't know what project that was going to be on. So it's a little less than a month, and it feels like this is supposed to be Gucci's big album, but it's not being promoted that way. Not to say that he won't get an additional push. I mean, there's a possibility that one of the songs on Mr. Davis turns out to be a hit and gets pushed after the album comes out. There's always that possibility. And there's always a chance that this album sells a little bit better because of the guest features and because it's right around the time of his autobiography. So there's a lot going on for Gucci in September. So that's just a little bit of the track listing that I wanted to discuss. Mr. Davis is out on September 15th. I'll include the track listing in the description section so you can check that out. Let me know what songs you're anticipating most. Afterwards, go ahead and like the video, subscribe to the channel if you're not already, share the video. Follow me on Twitter at SermonsDomain, and as always, thank you for your time. I appreciate you for watching, and until next time, peace.